my time because I want to make sure that I don't go too long. Huh?
You did a lot of preparation.
I did.
I'm impressed.
I did. Because, you know, the last time I was here and I did this, and I'm going to do a little tweaking on this. I did this piece and I didn't get to finish it. So I'm going to kind of do just a few little things on that to kind of finish that up. All right. So this one, I'm getting closer to detailing it. I have some dark on the back side of this spoon, but if I look at my value, it's really not dark enough, and I don't think that y'all can see that up there. This is pretty close in this spoon. This is not anywhere near dark enough, and this is maybe needs a little bit of a color here. And let's see what this one's looking like. And this one is getting pretty close, but it's got a little bit more detail that it needs in it. So, all right. So I'm going to, and just by doing a glazing layer on this back side of the spoon, that's automatically going to make it darker, just putting those colors back over it. This one has a little bit more shape going on in it. And so I'm going to do this hard line that's right in here, right next to that reflection. Bring that little shape down. It has a little bit of pink in it. Right in here. I said pink. I meant rose.
So when do you rub your masking off?
At the very end, close to the very end, because I will do a couple of other things before it's actually the very end. So I want to lift a little bit of this and darken this just a little bit and this way. And you see I've already got my darks laid in my spoon shapes. This needs some dark around this edge. And so I'm just going back and forth to my photo to see what else I need to add in. Let me get just a little bit more of this cobalt in here to darken that. It's kind of like making gravy sometimes, you know.
Do you generally use those same colors when you're doing your reflections? Are those your go-to colors?
I have a couple of other colors that I use, but these are mostly it because with these you can get almost everything that you need. But this one, I mean, because of the colors that were in this, this was a pretty easy palette to work with. And so my normal palette usually has two reds, a warm and a cool, and two blues, a warm and a cool blue, and the same thing with the yellow, warm and a cool. Although a couple of my favorite other colors that I really like are quinacridone gold deep, and I really love that, the core colors of that. And I was trying to think the other one that I use. It'll come to me in a second. All right, put a little bit of dark right in there. All right, I want to soften that edge right here because this is too hard. And so again, I'm just kind of cleaning my brush off a little bit, and it's damp, so I can soften that. Did you ask something I need to know? What did you ask? Oh, I like some of the, like a burnt umber and ultramarine blue make a really beautiful dark also. So I've used that before too. Okay, so how many of y'all know who Soon Warren is?
Who?
Soon Warren?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she was the judge for the Texas Watercolor Society show this year. And I love and have, for a long time, have loved her stuff. And, because of the situation, I wasn't able to, I really wanted to do the workshop. And I got into the Texas Watercolor Show. I didn't win anything, but I did get in. Hey. Anyway, and my traveling buddies today, they've already heard this story, so I apologize to them again for telling the story again. But anyway, I also got into the Breckenridge show, Breckenridge Fine Arts Show, and it was a juried show, and I was didn't get to go to the reception, didn't win anything. That was okay. Didn't go to the reception, and had to go check on my mom about something. And so I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop by the gallery. I had about a half an hour little window of time where I could stop and go see the show, because I knew the next time I would be through there that the show would be coming down, and I really wanted to see, because they usually have some really great artists from all over the nation. And anyway, Victoria told me, she said, you're in the main gallery, and be sure you check out in the second gallery, go and look and see what's in there. And it was just some beautiful, beautiful work. And I got into the second gallery, and I was looking, it's like, oh wait, oh, that's Soon Warren. She didn't win anything either. Oh, I'm getting good lizard company.
That's unusual, yeah.
So I don't know if that's a way that you can really kind of like, oh, yay.
Really like her.
Yeah.
Ton of judges.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel so bad about losing then. All right, let me put a couple of little details in this, and then let me see what time I've got. 14. I don't know where we are in the schedule. I said I brought this up here, so.
You got another hour and 15 minutes? or
What
more?
the heck? Oh, well, let me see then. If I've got that long, I'm going to have to do another painting.
It's 3:15.
3, 4, 2, 3.
What?
Not
Are
quite
you-
an hour.
You're counting time? I was like, I know
It's
that I don't have it.
3:15, and we
Okay.
just need to be out here by 4 or 5.
Oh,
Four,
okay. So this is a number 2. I think this is, of that little, it's a number 2 little round of that grape.
I like his 3,000 signature series too.
I haven't tried those yet. So I'm just going to bring a little line down here.
And it's Richardson, right? Richardson.
Mm-hmm. Now there is a flowery spoon in here, but I'm not going to put that in here right now. So, and I can see that I also, again, looking at my values and stuff, I can see that I need to I need to darken this one. What?
That's a good shot.
Okay. So and again, because it's a glazing layer, and go over the top again, it'll automatically darken that again. Get all those colors one more time.
Natalie, do you ever get distracted by the color in the mask? As far as,
Mm-mm.
you know,
Used to.
No, and whenever I do pouring, I really like using the drawing gun because you can see through it. And so you can see what you have going on in the layers underneath it.
Sometimes it's like you don't really want to pull it off because it's like
Exactly.
really cool looking
It's like,
in the
oh my
picture,
gosh,
too.
this
It's
is
like,
going to be so cool. Yeah.
How can I leave that? Because that really looks good.
Okay, and so just a little bit about brushes, just so that y'all will know. And again, because some of you, you know this, and you've told it, but for those of you who are new, the sable brushes or the natural fiber brushes, they hold a lot of fluid and a lot of pigment and or water. So if you're covering a large area, that's what you're going to want, is a natural hair or a sable brush. And some of those big sable brushes get really expensive. the expensive ones, the really, really nice ones, the Kalinskis, you know, they'll hold a point and spring back. Sometimes the sable brushes don't hold a point real good, so the synthetics will hold a point. But so sometimes the blends of a synthetic and a natural brush works really good to hold the water and then also to come back to that point again.
My consensus too.
Yes. All right. So I see a couple of little dark edges on here that I need to come back and bump that up right in this bottom part of this. Right there. And then as I come down, and I think I might have just touched the masking fluid with that. And there's a little dark right in there. And so just in the little details. This one needs to be just a little bit darker. Now, it's not so distorted through the glass. It's really dark in this area. But this spoon right here, which I think is probably this back spoon, this little handle right here, is I need to bring its color up just a little bit and get a little bit more water on that.
Working with the 140-pound paper, do you ever have it just loose like that? Do you have any problems with it buckling or?
Oh, yes, sometimes, and I mean, there's all kinds of instructions you'll see about to soak them and stretch them, and most of the time I don't. Most of the time I just paint straight on there. And if it cockles too bad on me or buckles too bad, I'll usually wet the back of it and then let it set. And sometimes I'll even iron it.
Oh, I do too.
I was
get those.
wondering that you're working on it's like a towel there.
Might
Yes.
wanna wait till after the P-bow is off, right? You ever
Oh,
had it,
yeah,
like, go
yeah,
in?
don't iron the drawing gum on there.
Yeah,
Yes,
just
and
let
the
you
reason
knock
I'm
it
working on this towel
iron for
is
it.
because this wash was so messy, and I had paint smeared all over my table at the house. And so that's the reason that I went ahead and brought the towel to work on.
I was wondering if it helped to hold the paper too.
No, not as far as like for holding its shape or any of that.
I'd much rather paint on.
Okay, I've got this dark, and so I'm looking at, and I have this in this size, so I can tell in here, like where my really dark areas are of this name. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those in. And so probably one of the reasons that I started doing like the really detailed stuff is there was so little of my life that I had any control over that I thought, let me see if I can control this for what I had understood to be a very uncontrollable, unforgiving medium. And so I thought, well, if I can't control my kids and I can't control this life situation, let me just see if I can have a little bit of control this way. So, but I really, really, really do love to look deep into, like, see all of those colors that are in the background and see the way the light shifts and the things change, and I love all of that. Now this rim, there's some dark areas that are in the rim and I don't have those in yet, so the ones that I can set in right now, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And probably, unless somebody had this photo to go by, you could probably like just put some movement in there and they would never know the difference.
I'm supposed to give all the secrets away.
Oh, that's right. That's kind of like telling how we do our magic tricks, right? Okay, let me see. And there's a piece of glass right back here, and it's almost the same as that background. It probably should be just a little bit darker. And it's gonna show up whenever I pull that masking off. Okay, so that's all of that for right this second. Let's set that over there. And you know what? If I had gone ahead and taken this masking fluid off, we would have been so much further ahead, but I didn't. And so I've got a
Well, that'll show new ones how you do that.
that's it.
It's fun.
And this one is not very big, so it's not gonna take a whole long time to do that, but this is a rubber
Now,
cement
where do you
eraser.
get your little
What?
rubber thing?
Huh?
Where do you get that?
I get mine from Dick Blick or Cheap Joe's or
Varsity's got them.
Varsity has them.
Yeah. Just call them a rubber cement eraser and they all know what they are.
Yeah, some use their hand. Sometimes if I have a small area, I'll just take a piece of masking tape and turn it wrong side out and do that. And you can also use the hair of the dog that bit you, you know? You can use the masking fluid itself. I used to have what I called an ugly nubby, and that's all it was just this glomp of, is that a word? A glomp of just masking fluid. And I would use that before I got one of these. After I took Linda's workshop and we had like a half sheet of watercolor paper all filled with masking fluid, I was like, yeah, I think I need to have one of those.
Don't let it get in the floor and get on your rollers on your chair.
Oh, oops.
Then you're like, why's my chair not moving?
So now we have all of that light coming up. It is really what makes the glass sparkle and shine. And it's really important. Now, of course, my stuff has been dry for a little bit. So, but you want to wait to paint until your masking fluid, your drawing gun is completely dry. And you want to wait until your paint is completely dry before you add any more masking fluid or drawing gum, or before you take it off, because it can really ruin your painting. If
Ooh,
you,
it's like Finnegan begin again.
it's horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay.